Hey there guys, it's Avidexpert here today, and again I will be your host for this beautiful video. There was a leak recently anonymously provided, and this was about the Remake 2 project. Now I was personally actually PM'd by another person giving a very similar leak, and I'm going to be covering both of these in this video, as well as the fact there may be some additional confirmation these could actually be true. I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. This is getting really fishy and interesting, so let's get right into it. Some of the more prominent claims within the leak are the fact that Resident Evil 2 Remake is going to be over the shoulder. A mix of Revelations 2 and Resident Evil 4 gameplay. You can aim and move unlike the original Resident Evil 2 game, but there will be no crouching. The Raccoon City Police Department and the city overall have been vastly redesigned. There are only 2 campaigns, no zapping system, however, Leon and Claire will interact more because of this fact. The crocodile has been removed from the game, which to me is the most devastating loss we have so far. Sherry can now defend herself, and this will be very familiar if you've played Revelations 2, as it will be very much like Natalia. Not only has Ada's section been expanded upon completely, she'll have a diversity of weapons available to use. The HUNK campaign might not be in the game, and it might be DLC, but that is pure speculation. Due to a lack of information and other cut content, the probability of Tofu being in the game is actually quite low. The game will remind you very much of Resident Evil 7 in design in multiple different ways, however. The focus will still be on horror, unlike the Resident Evil 4, 5 and 6 game. However, on the normal difficulty, just like Resident Evil 7, there is going to be auto saving, and typewriters are only going to be for the harder difficulty. Costumes are back, but a heavy amount of it is going to be DLC, just like Resident Evil 0. I did predict this myself, guys, and it's not just Resident Evil 0, a plethora of the recent Resident Evil titles all have DLC in the form of costumes. A late 2018 target release date, which is very unfortunate. Now, I had another leak from Reddit, and I'll put this on Imager for you guys if you want to read it all, and it comes to a lot of similar conclusions. However, this is a lot more descriptive than the original leak. The interesting thing is, this person personally contacted me, and he said the original leaker, the one that was on 4chan, apparently didn't have any connection with him, and he was unsure who he was. So these are 2 separate people apparently providing a very similar story. I'm thinking, maybe is there a possibility that 2 developers or people affiliated with Capcom that know a lot of information were very disheartened like us at the lack of information and are trying to do a fan service. It's really up to you to judge all of this, guys, but there is a little bit more to this story. Now, Residents of Evil recently uploaded a video on this same story, and he beat me to it, the little ninja. However, Capcom actually copyright claimed him shortly after he uploaded it, which is peculiar, isn't it? Now, I've dealt with copyright claims from various corporations associated with Capcom in my history, just in case anyone is interested. When I was covering Vendetta, there was a lot of claims from Kodoka Animation Corporation, for example. There's been claims from audio companies to do with the Resident Evil soundtracks over time, etc. But Capcom themselves, like the actual company name, just Capcom, have never touched anything. Now, I did contact one of the Capcom NA community managers once, and I was asking if they could contact Kodoka, and I probably butchered the pronunciation of this like several times, animation, and they said that Capcom themselves doesn't deal with any of the legal stuff and they outsource that. So it makes me think, is there something peculiar here? And is there actually an accuracy to these statements? It's just something to think about. And I'm starting to think, is Capcom throwing out copyright claims as part of the goddamn puzzle of Remake 2? It's pretty shady though, to be honest, guys, but we'll see. Maybe my video will be copyright claimed as well. We'll just have to see what happens. As I said, I'll leave a copy to this leak on an Imager so you can see in high quality, scroll through it all, and go and see what you think about this yourself. There are some very interesting and also concerning things in this. I'll be making separate videos on the opinion of it. I just wanted to get the leak out there for you guys so that you can see something, because with with all of the lack of information with the Resident Evil 2 anniversary, I just thought this is the best we could do. We've got a Discord if you want to come join, in the link in the description. I've also got a link to my Twitter if you want to come join that as well, or just go check out my other videos and have a laugh with me there. I hope you've had a beautiful day. As always, take it easy and peace.